Renowned as one of the world's finest foods, Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, with its exceptional flavor, is the culmination of centuries of craftsmanship. All natural and aged to perfection, there is only one Parmigiano Reggiano. Parmigiano Reggiano is known the world over as the masterpiece of Parmesan. Its unique markings certify its authenticity and signify its elite membership in the European Union's protected designation of origin system. The PDO system was established to differentiate original products made with quality local ingredients in well-defined regions, from the growing number of imitators in the marketplace today. To get to the source of Parmigiano Reggiano is to go to a place that has produced some of the world's most sumptuous foods. In the fabled Italian provinces of Parma, Reggio Emilia, and Modena, and portions of the provinces of Mantua and Bologna, artisans continue to handcraft Parmigiano Reggiano cheese as they have done for over 800 years. The region's unique climate and soil provide nutrient-dense grasses and clover for the cows raised on farms that dot the countryside. The entire cheese-making process is prescribed in a carefully monitored standard managed by the Consorzio del Formaggio Parmigiano Reggiano. The process begins with the delivery of the evening milking to an area cheese house. Here the milk rests in holding trays where the cream rises overnight. The next day the cream is removed and the skimmed milk is combined with a fresh delivery of whole milk. Fermented whey from the previous production acts as a natural starter, and calf's rennet is added to the milk, producing a soft curd that is then cut with a large whisk to the size of wheat grains. After careful cooking, the granular curds are left to settle into the bottom of the cauldron where they knit together. The solid mass is raised, cut in half, and left to drain. Once packed into molds, a plaque with a unique alphanumeric code is placed on each newly formed wheel to provide a traceability system that ensures authenticity and food safety. That evening, another stamp is slipped between the mold and the new cheese to emboss it with the famous Parmigiano Reggiano pin dot marks, as well as with the cheese house number and date of production. After several days in the molds, the newly formed wheels are placed in tanks to soak in a brine solution for 20 to 25 days. Once dried, they are taken to aging houses for careful tending to ensure even aging. After 1 year, master cheese testers, using time-honored methods, determine which wheels will become certified Parmigiano Reggiano. Any cheese that is not deemed high enough in quality is declassified by the removal of the pin dot markings. Cheese that does pass the certification process is fire-branded with the famous oval certification mark of the Consorzio del Formaggio Parmigiano Reggiano. Wheels are sorted, and the few that are best eaten before 18 months are identified as Mezzano and marked with parallel bands that still allow the pin dot marking to show. These wheels are mild in flavor and tender in texture. Most wheels, however, will be aged an average of 24 months, resulting in a cheese bursting with a savory flavor prized by the most discriminating consumers. A select number of wheels, because of their exceptional qualities, will be double certified at the request of a producer or ager. These wheels will be signified by either an additional extra or export firebrand. When you receive Parmigiano Reggiano, carefully remove the wheel from its shipping box and clean the rind with a soft cloth. If some naturally occurring mold is present, wipe with a 50-50 solution of white vinegar and water. Whole wheels can either be refrigerated or stored at cool room temperature away from heat sources and direct sunlight, while cryovac packaged quarters and eighths should be refrigerated until ready to portion. Before opening and portioning, allow the wheel to rest at room temperature for at least 24 hours. A special opening technique retains Parmigiano Reggiano's hallmark crystalline texture. Be sure to use the traditional knives to open and portion the cheese. First, use the rind cutter to scratch a guideline in the rind all the way around the wheel. Then cut through the wheel all the way around using the almond knife, almost like a can opener. Insert almond knives at each corner at a 45-degree angle and push them down so that they are parallel to the work surface and can begin to wedge the wheel apart. Then plunge the pointed or flat spatula knife into the center of the wheel. Pause for a minute to allow the wedge-shaped knives to begin the splitting process. Remove the knives, carefully turn the wheel over, and insert the knives again the way you did on the other side. In a matter of minutes, you'll begin to see the wheel separate on its own. Gently pry it apart by alternately twisting the almond knives in the corners, opening the wheel, and exposing Parmigiano Reggiano's mouth-watering flaky texture. Then you can continue to portion each half into quarters and eighths. Into quarters by scoring the rind on all sides. Then inserting an almond knife down diagonally into the corner. Inserting the pointed spatula knife into one of the flat surfaces 2 inches from the cut side. Wait a few moments, turn the cheese over, and repeat on the other side. Push the knives gently to pry the quarters apart. To cut quarters into eighths, score the curved side using the pin dot pattern as a guide, and score a 1/2 inch deep line on both cut surfaces. Following the guideline, cut the rind surface with the almond knife, and then use it to gently separate the pieces. There are many ways to portion the cheese into consumer wedges. Here's one that works well, producing fairly uniform 12-ounce wedges with one rind showing the pin dot marking, which is the customer's visual guarantee that they are purchasing Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Cut a triangle from the tip of the eighth. This piece will not have the pin dot markings, but it will give you a nice flat end for your wedges. To cut wedges, always score through the rind as well as the paste of the cheese. The almond knife or the flat spatula knife is gently twisted to break the wedges apart. This technique requires practice, but produces pieces that really show off the unique texture of the cheese. The flat spatula knife is useful to cut away any extra rind or sharp corners before wrapping. Cover all cut pieces right away with plastic wrap to keep air out and the flavor and aroma in. Gather up any crumbled cheese and grate it without any rind for the best tasting product. Rinds can be sold separately to use as a flavoring in soups and sauces, a vegetarian soup bone. Parmigiano Reggiano's rich visual appeal can make for any number of creative merchandising possibilities. An array of whole wheels and wedges produces an eye-catching traffic-stopping display. Make sure to use the complete name Parmigiano Reggiano cheese for identification, and always with the circle R symbol. While displays build sales, keep in mind that with its all-natural ingredients, Parmigiano Reggiano out of refrigeration requires faster turnover than refrigerated cheese. Unopened wheels can be left at cool room temperature for up to 1 month, halves for 7 days, quarters and eighths for 4 days. Consumer-sized pieces should be sold on the same day. Grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese should always be refrigerated to prevent development of off flavors and mold. Communicating your knowledge is the key to the successful retailing of Parmigiano Reggiano. Whenever possible, let customers taste the cheese. When offering samples, explain that Parmigiano Reggiano is an excellent table cheese whose flavors change subtly with the seasons, from hints of nuts and hay to butter, cream, and fruit. Its distinctive crunchy texture is the result of Parmigiano Reggiano's long aging, which breaks its proteins into free amino acid crystals, packed with nutrients and calcium, and made without additives and preservatives. Parmigiano Reggiano is perfect for people of all ages and is 100% lactose-free. In displays, offer recipe brochures that suggest the many delicious ways to serve Parmigiano Reggiano, grated over pasta, risotto, or soups, stirred into sauces and baked dishes, in shavings over vegetables or steak, as a table cheese with dates or other fruit, or with its natural partner, prosciutto di Parma. Parmigiano Reggiano is always at home wherever the very best is sold. A timeless classic whose unsurpassed quality and flavor are rediscovered every day.